My name is Matthew Mosley, aka Matt The Janitor, originally from Bluefield, West Virginia, but now I reside here in Roanoke, Virginia. Poetry for me encompasses a whole lot. It's just a collection of my life. I started writing poetry when I was 14 years old. I got away from it for a while. Now I'm 45, now I'm back into the scene doing spoken word and free verse. I'm still writing traditional style, but poetry is just like abstract to me. No one person can tell another person that what they're not doing is art. And that's why I like spoken word, and that's why I like poetry so much, because it's performance. It's about acting out what you really feel on the inside and showing people the value of your worth through your words. But then it can also be interpreted to someone else different. So it's the opportunity to show people yourself through a visual demonstration. I was first introduced to poetry when I was young, maybe 6 or 7. I used to like the traditional poets, some of them Langston Hughes, Robert Frost, William Shakespeare. So I really enjoyed listening to those poets, and reading from the Bible also is poetry in the Bible, King Solomon. What I want to see, there are a lot of gaps in the city, and there are a lot of things that can happen to bring the arts together more for all of the races. I want to see all of the races combined, and we're doing more shows and we're doing more things. If you see, whether you see graffiti on the side of a building or if you see someone on the news and it's a younger or older person, I want everybody to get involved, because poetry is not just for young or old, it's for everyone. So for everyone to express themselves, but I would like to see all races come together. Sounds cliche, but it still needs to happen. But Roanoke is just ripe and ready to be taken by the reins for the arts. And I think we have a diverse culture of peoples here to do it. Matt the Janitor, Poetry Sanitation. I've lost weight, but not of the fleshly kind, but more of the spirit variety. I stepped on a scale to see if I still fit in, and found my pants were now loose and so was my skin. Found that some of the words I say were weighing me down, so I shed them, but they still linger around. I have received IVs to revive me and bring me back to life where I once was before, and found that cancers of the body are tragic, but worse yet are cancers of the soul, killing the dreams of the dreamer before they can metastasize and spread and change the world. Diseases lay waste to the imagination of the believer if you allow them to. I've lost weight, but not of the kind that you might consider of scales and balances and trips and long walks on trails and Weight Watcher meals. I am less weight than before now, and I am the better for it. Wings are not always meant for flying, but to protect the soul deep within the flesh and the nasty everyday instances, and to hide the face of the everyday person behind smiles and giggles and wings. And I look for the best now in myself and people. And I know that there is violence in all facets and walks of life, and lost beautiful words. But I've lost significant weight, and just like most diet plans do, I don't look the same, and I'm not supposed to. I am mostly a new man, so now I have new thoughts and aspirations. I sit on the edge of my bed often and write poetry like I'm doing right at this very moment, and wonder why people invite me out to read poetry, but then they tell me to keep my poetry short. But you ask me to read my poetry and not a few short sentences. Sometimes songs have to be long and poems do to get their point across, but I'll follow the rules. So I am actively shedding some weight. Some of the meat and potatoes type of words and wordplay who needs those anymore like metaphors. Don't try to stand in my way variety. It's what you're asking for. I stood on a scale to see if I still fit in, but my pants were now loose and so was my skin. And for better or worse, I built my pedigree on long 5-minute poetry. I write what some consider long poetry, but it's the reason you invited me to come out in the first place. I'll just play along this time and hope I still get my point across in under 3 minutes or so. If not, I did what you asked me to do, but it doesn't necessarily always work. I still put in work though, so I hope this still works. Matt the Janitor, Poetry Sanitation. God bless.